Vince, hi.
Mark,
How you
what's
doing,
going
man?
on?
Not much, man.
Dude, I'm doing
Thanks.
so good right now.
Thanks for making the time.
Yeah, no problem.
We're gonna try to see if I can get rid of those. No, I don't want to show chat. I don't know why that doesn't go away. Oh, there we go. All right, got rid of it. How you doing, Vince?
I'm doing really good today, man.
Good, man. So you've been streaming like 8 hours in a row for a couple days. How's that been?
It's the most I've streamed in so long, and I think I'm able to do it because honestly, everyone in my chat has been like pretty supportive lately of me playing my warrior that I just made, and because of that, like they've been helping me with like dungeons and raids and stuff, and like getting gear. I've been able to like sit there and just like grind through it and like not mind it at all for like 8 hours straight every day. So it's been pretty fun lately.
Nice, man. So yeah, Warrior. How's Warrior been? It's been fun.
It's a lot easier than Hunter for sure. It's easy to just play a good class, you know. It's a big difference.
How much of it is just like just clicking like crazy and just like I don't know, running in and just bashing heads?
I would compare to Hunter, like maybe like 80%
Yeah.
of the class is doing that. Yeah.
So how's your sleep cycle going?
I actually, because I've been streaming so consistently, the other day I slept kind of late, but other than that, I've actually been sleeping around like maybe 11, 12, waking up around 8, 9, turning the stream on. You know, a really consistent schedule. Going for a jog, like it's been pretty good. I think that's why I've been so happy lately. So
Good.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Good, man. I have a bunch of questions about nomenclature you use. So first off, posture check, hydration check.
Always gotta remember that, dude.
So whenever you see it in chat, does that mean that you have to take a sip of water and correct your posture?
Like, I have right here. Actually, I have 3 bottles of water that I'm gonna go through for my morning, and then I also have when I go jogging, I have 3 bottles in the bag that I drink while I'm jogging. So I go through like 6, 7 bottles a day of water.
How far do you jog for?
So there's a park. I think it's like because the park it's like 4 miles. I probably go around it twice. So I'll jog some of it and I'll walk some of it. So like 8 miles, I guess.
That's not bad. So you're getting outside and, during the coronavirus.
Yeah, but I avoid contact with people. Like if I see someone like walking my way, I'll go like around the entire trail. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just gotta be safe.
It's weird whenever I see people just like walking by. Like you still have to be friendly, but like there's almost this instinct of like, why are you existing? Why are you even like outside? But then, I don't know. As long as you have maintain a safe distance, then I always try to be as friendly as possible and wave and smile. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that like the only I would say the shitty part honestly when I'm walking is like if I see a dog, I really want to pet someone's dog because I'm an animal person and I'm not allowed to do it because the virus going on, so it's kind of a little frustrating.
So speaking of animal person, what is that beautiful painting that you have of hold on, Duckman Tran?
The Duke man, wait, how do you know that
I
about my dog?
I just know. I know these things.
Okay, so this painting is basically a painting I found at TJ Maxx. You can see it right there. I found it at TJ Maxx and it reminded me of my dog because my dog I had a Shih Tzu with one eye, so I should probably like put like tape over here or something. And I don't know, it just had so much drip, like so much finesse to it, the hat and the suit. So I just bought it, and whenever I look at it, it reminds me of my dog. So I just leave it there.
It's beautiful. All right, my guy.
My guy.
Where did my
That
guy
is
come from?
that is not my thing. Like I used to say my guy, but not a lot. My guy, I think, is Pika's thing. I think one of his old roommates was just like he's from Cali, and after every sentence he would just be like, "Yo, my guy," just like nonstop. So then they started saying it in all the calls to Discords, and somehow it like transitioned into saying it on stream, and now like nonstop the whole team just goes my guy like every 2 seconds.
Does California have like a big influence on you guys? I know like with the whole move thing, like it's very much like a what's the move? Whatever, we're going to California. Do you
I
do you
think
like California?
oh, I love Cali. I love the weather there. I love everything there except the prices of everything almost. It's so expensive. But other than that, I mean, the weather is amazing and the slang, the lingo there is so catchy. It's kind of contagious the way you'll see like Pika like he'll bring his Cali lingo to his stream. And the next thing you know, everyone in the chat is like, my guy, the move, like this and that is actually insane. And then the whole team's doing it. And I'm saying it around like my real life friends who aren't from Cali, obviously, started looking at me like I'm crazy, and I don't know. It's awesome.
You're from Narlands? You're in Narlands?
Yeah, from New Orleans, yeah. There's lingo here too. I actually used to have a my old team from back then. It was Panda Global, and I had a teammate named Andy, whose in-game name was Rub Cub, and we played at BlizzCon together. We were on a team together, and I used to mess with him. I used to be like, there's this slang where people from New Orleans say "you heard me," and I used to say that all the time. So then it's at a point where like even to this day, I haven't been on a team with him in like 3 years. To this day, he still says "you heard me" after like every sentence because it like stuck with him. He thought it was so funny.
You're
And,
me?
you heard you heard me, like do you like
Okay,
hear me?
yeah.
But it's like yeah, and he just I don't know. And I got Carl to start saying it because he thinks I'm an idiot when I mess with him. But that's like something from New Orleans for sure.
You're me? Yeah, I like that.
hmm
So what is it like growing up in Louisiana, Narlands? What was it like?
Dangerous, if I were to be honest. Crime rate here is extreme, but other than that, like the culture is amazing. It's very unique compared to everywhere else. There's like crawfish and Cajun food, a lot of events going on. There's Bourbon Street in like the city where like a lot of partying is done. Mardi Gras in February where there's like the biggest festivals ever, like anywhere. It's so different from Cali, and a lot of tourist attractions here too. So I think growing up here is definitely a lot of like very strong culture that like influenced my life.
So then are you into like New Orleans like music?
Yeah, like jazz music and stuff is like you walk down the street and you see like people performing on the streets, like playing jazz music, singing. There's a lot going on in the city, and it's amazing. Yeah.
Nice. And then food obviously as well. But so is it just busy and touristy like all year round?
Yes, in the city. Mhm.
Nice. Are you close to the city?
Yeah, I live basically in the city, like right next to it. So
Wow. So that's got to be a fun jog then.
oh, I don't jog in the city. I actually just go to a park that's pretty close to
Oh,
me,
nice.
and that's where I jog around.
But where's your accent?
Okay, because I am how do I put this? Because I am educated, I know better. And not saying that I know better, but because I know how to speak properly. I'm not gonna sit here and like leave the accent. I'm just gonna like speak normally. But if I'm talking to my family and stuff, then the accent comes out pretty badly, I would say.
Do you have like a drunk accent? Like when you get drunk, does it come out?
When I get mad, my teammates hear it immediately. They're like, "Who is this person?" Like, when I get mad, I definitely yeah. If I get mad or if I get like drunk mad, but like I'm almost never mad. But
So
usually just around my family. That's where it comes out.
so it seems like you when you explode, there's a build up, there's an exploding moment, and then there's wrath. But it starts with very very quiet and then screaming increasing screaming. How
Yeah, this. Wait, I'm sorry. What was that?
Yeah, how does that? What's the process of you like building up anger until it explodes?
Well, there's like no in between, right? It's not just like me being like passive aggressive and then I blow up. It's more like me just like, someone's giving me shit. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, they're gonna stop giving me shit because, I mean, why would they want to make me mad? That doesn't make any sense. So then I'll sit there. And they're giving me shit. I'm like, okay, they're gonna stop at some point. So I'm just gonna keep being nice. And then eventually they give me so much shit. I'm just like, okay, you want to keep fucking with me? And then I don't know what happens. And it's not as bad anymore now because I definitely like cooled off. But like before, when I would get mad, it was pretty bad. It was pretty over the top, I think. And I'm definitely a lot better now. Like you'll see it when I play like competitive games like Overwatch and stuff, or you used to. But I'm a lot better now for sure.
Do your teammates ever piss you off?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. All three of them. All three of them for sure. There are times in tournaments like last year and the year before where like they know how to push my buttons and they do it. They do it. But at the same time I love them, It's like it's not, and especially these days they don't ever piss me off to that point. Like even if they try to, they couldn't because I've actually learned how to control that. But before, when we first got on a team together, they would make some suggestions and very just in ways that like I didn't necessarily agree with, and I would just blow up on them. I don't know. It was pretty bad.
So does that mean that you got better at dealing with anger, or rather that it just doesn't matter to you anymore? Doesn't bother you?
I would say both. I think before I just couldn't really let things go.
Yeah.
Now I'm just kind of more like go with the flow. I've definitely chilled out a lot. Like things don't really get to me like that anymore. I just let it go.
So you did talk about like in 2019 that you kind of had a rough year, but then you turned it around, and then you talked about also that you had New Year's resolutions for 2020. What did you start doing in 2019, and then what was your New Year's resolution for 2020?
2019 we didn't make it to BlizzCon, but we did win the very last tourney and do significantly better to tourney before that. And if we started that year doing the same thing, we probably would have made it to BlizzCon. And I think the biggest thing was my teammates were more open to play more things, and I think just because we were behind, we weren't. I wouldn't say like our synergy wasn't there, but we weren't like playing like we normally would, you know. Because when you play in a tournament, it's like it's a lot more tense. There's a lot more like stress going on, and we weren't playing like we were comfortable like we do when we were streaming or just playing off stream and just relaxing. Because we obviously weren't doing well, so that like pressure was like getting to us. I think my teammates like towards the end were just a lot more chill with the games and just understood what was going on, and playing more classes started to help us. And I think that's what we're gonna do in 2020 when tournaments start up again. It's just play more things, try harder, and not be so stressed. Let things go, and I think we'll do a lot better.
So, no, I'll stick with personal stuff. Then we'll get into WoW.
Okay.
Soldier Boy dance.
How do you know these things, man?
Dude, I stalked you. That's all I do is stalk people for a living. It's great. You should try it.
I used to drink on stream. Okay, and I don't do it as much anymore these days.
I saw your Grey Goose bottle not too long ago.
Okay, if you want to see it stream, it's right there. And yeah, so I used to drink on stream. I don't do it as much these days anymore because a wild side comes out of me that maybe isn't too appropriate for Twitch. And yeah, so now like I won't do it as much. And if I do, I won't drink nearly at the level that I normally would. But yeah, I would do like random dances back in the day on stream. My stream loved it. Like they thought it was hilarious. And sadly, I can't get like I might do it sometime soon, especially today since it's Wiz's birthday. But like other than birthdays and events, I'm probably not gonna get to that level ever again, actually, on a daily basis. So yeah.
What do you think Wiz will do for his birthday? Do you know?
Oh, I know exactly what he's doing. He's hanging out with us, and I told you about the monster can. He's getting the monster can out, and he's turning his cam on, taking his shirt off and drinking with us. I guess knowing Wiz is a wild one. So
that'll be fun. Is that going to be on stream? Yeah, that's going to be on stream.
Oh no, not the shirt off.
Not
the shirt. No. It's against US.
So one of my favorite quotes that you had was thinking of starting a male version of Hooters with my teammates and a few friends. It'd be named Booters, and we dress in thongs, have hairy chests, and wear bow ties with no shirts. What do you guys think? End quote. Still one of your best ideas yet?
How do you know this? Wait, wait, how do you know? How did you know I said this on stream? Wait, I don't even remember. I just remember that because you just brought it up. I didn't remember saying that.
It was Twitter. You put it on Twitter.
What?
Quote. It's just. I mean, like, I feel like there's something here. So if you want to go into business together, just let me know. I'll.
Bro,
yeah,
what?
We'll get the startup money. It'll be good.
Wait. I'm down.
All right,
we
good.
Can do booters. I'm down. Yes.
Good. All right, we'll start. We'll start tonight with Wiz's birthday shirt off. It'll be great.
Yeah. So I was thinking.
All right. So so you've been playing with Warrior a little bit, but let's talk about Hunter. Like, how did you find your way into playing Hunter?
Well, I was a little kid. I think I was like maybe 8 when I started, and I liked the idea of pets, and somehow it like registered in my brain like this class is just fun to play. I don't know what it is, but like having a pet and running around and having to feed my pet, I guess it was kind of similar to like having a pet in real life. And then as time went on, and I started to get better at the game, I stuck with it because I like playing like the squishy, fast-paced classes. I don't like to play like the slow gameplay because it's a lot less engaging. And a hunter is one of those classes where like if you make a really good play, you like punish the person you're fighting really heavily, but if you mess up, then you also die instantly too. So it's just I don't know, it's a lot more engaging than most of the classes for sure.
I noticed that like on stream, you kind of talk through everything a lot. Have you always done that?
Yeah, I've done that since I used to stream in the end of MOP, which was expansion. That was years ago. I don't even remember how many years. And it was more in the beginning of WOD. I would play with like viewers and something called looking for group, which is like the system you use to find like random teammates. And I would play with them, and I would always talk through my gameplay. And because I didn't do it at first, and then someone in my stream was like, "Hey, can you give it a shot? Just try it." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I did it, and my stream loved it. So ever since, I've been doing it. Um, but yeah, it's been a long time for sure.
So it's more of for entertainment value for the people who are watching you, kind of understanding what your thought process is and why you're doing what you're doing, less so than communication for your teammates.
No. It doesn't help me or my teammates at all when I say like exactly what's going on play by play. It actually slows me down just like very slightly because I'm saying what I'm doing as it's happening instead of just like focusing on what I'm doing. So
Does that monologue continue in your inner monologue when you're playing? Like if you're not saying it out loud and you're just like playing with the other guy, the move, does that monologue still
no,
go? No.
no, it's you get to I'm at a point where if I play, especially if I play Hunter specifically, it's like I don't think about it, just happens.
Hmm.
I feel like my hands will move before I even think about whatever's going to happen. I don't know. It's hard
So,
to explain.
so I mean, that's what happens with a lot of athletes is that you work through the mechanics so much that it's in you. Like you don't think about it. So then
Yeah.
now that you're playing Warrior a little bit, is it kind of what's that? Is it refreshing of not actually having it be intuitive, but rather you're thinking about it more?
Warrior's a little thinking going on because I haven't put enough time into it, but because I used to play Warrior a good amount back in the day, there's like some muscle memory there. It's just not nearly on the same level as my Hunter, I feel like.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Do you think you would ever move to Warrior permanently?
no. It doesn't matter how bad Hunters are. I think this is like the class I like to play on stream and play for enjoyment. But if it were in terms of like winning tournaments for my team, I would definitely put a lot of time into Warrior or like whatever class I would have to play, not just Hunter.
Did you get your classic WoW name back?
Classic WoW?
Yeah, I saw that you said that someone took your classic WoW name and that you were going to camp them out as they resurrect and kill them until they
Yeah.
just delete their account.
Yeah, he actually the person who took my name apparently was and I felt bad after. Apparently it was a fan who actually saved the name for me and then told me that he saved the name for me to give it to me. So he deleted the character after he contacted me. And, yeah, so I felt pretty bad after saying that.
Oh man, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
Wow,
I know.
that's really
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, that guy's awesome. I don't know what he's doing these days, but if he's listening, thank you so much for keeping my name for me.
That's like I don't know. Yeah, that warms my heart. That's really nice. Any other like acts of kindness that you've had like that on WoW?
There's a mount called the Swift Spectral Tiger, and I think at the time it was worth like $3,000, like real life currency. And some guy just came up and he was like, "Hey, here," and he just traded it to me. And then in my head I'm like, "Yo, I could sell this for $3,000," but then because it was from a fan, like a viewer, I just used it instead because it was awesome. So that's like another one. It's pretty cool.
Wow,
Mhm.
wow. All right, so you got some pretty cool fans.
Yeah, I would say so.
So classic WoW. A lot of your teammates have various thoughts on classic WoW. What's your take and what was your experience when it came out?
Fun to play with friends. Not fun to play in terms of PvP at all. Not really fun to play in terms of PvE. It's just the end game content isn't there. The leveling content's really enjoyable when you're playing with friends. Um, but I mean, I play WoW with the PvP, so like there's no PvP. Didn't really enjoy it too much, and then there's not really that much depth to it. So for me personally, like I enjoyed it at the time, and then once I reached max level, it just wasn't that fun.
Yeah, but you weren't like angry at it. Like,
No,
I don't know, okay, okay,
there's no
just get
reason to
bored.
be. whoever enjoys it enjoys it. It's just not meant for me. That's all.
So you got to cast at BlizzCon. What was that experience like?
I believe it or not, like yeah, I stream, but I've got to a point where in front of people on my stream, I'm just comfortable enough to know that like these people are like me. It's like playing games with like a bunch of people in a room with you, together when you're streaming. But for me, I have like how do I put this? I could be social sometimes, but for the most part, especially in front of an audience like that, like even presentations in school, I was always extremely nervous. So when I was casting at BlizzCon, I actually was pretty nervous, believe it or not. And then I guess I just kept reminding myself that everyone is here for the same reason I am, which is for World of Warcraft, just to watch the PvP and enjoy the PvP. So then I calmed myself down a bit, but I was extremely nervous at first for sure. I think watching everyone be so comfortable on the desk and like healing stat or Adrian, Zico and Ven and everyone just being so nice and like helpful with everything definitely made it a lot easier though. And it was awesome. It was a good experience for sure.
So casting is a completely different skill or skill set. What did you learn while you were casting, in which that if you continue to do it, that that you would try to implement next time?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
Definitely to just be more relaxed for sure, and get more hyped. Usually when I'm streaming and stuff, if we get like a big kill, especially if I'm playing threes with the team, I get hyped. That's why they wanted me to cast to begin with because I usually when I stream I call everything out and I also like get hyped over kills. When I was up there, I guess I was so tense that like wasn't getting as hyped as I normally would until the very end. I started to get like more used to it. But I think like on a consistent level, I would just be more hyped for kills and lower energy when there was nothing happening. Yeah.
How'd you get the name Jellybeans?
I was 8, man. I was 8, sitting at the name creation screen, and I had Jellybeans in front of me, and I typed it out, and I thought it was so cool, and I'm stuck now. So
Cool. Would you change it to anything else now?
no, no. Somehow like it became this thing where I was like, "Fuck, man, I'm 8 years old. Like this sucks. Like it's like a little kitty name. It's such a weak name." And somehow it stuck, and I love it now. I don't know. Being Jelly Beans of WoW is sick.
What
For
about
sure.
a potential alter ego as Duke Man Tran?
No one's ready for that yet.
Okay,
No one's ready for. Trust me,
I
no
just
one's ready for Duke Man yet.
I'm planting the seed. So the origin story for a couple things. So first off, WoW. How did you get into WoW? It's been out since 2004. How did you find it, and how did you fall in love with it?
My uncles all played Blizzard games, and I would sit there and watch them play Diablo. I don't know if you've ever played Diablo, but I heard that was extremely addicting for the time, like way ahead of its time. And then they transitioned into Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but like Warcraft, the strategy game. And I would watch them play, and they'd let me play. I'd be like, "Holy shit! Like this is insane. I've never played a game like this. Like this is crazy." Because I've only really played like games on like my Nintendo or my Atari or whatever. And then WoW comes out, and it's just like, what is this? This is crazy. Like I've never seen a game like this. And then I'm like sneaking onto my uncle's accounts. I'm like doing homework in class so I could go home and like do nothing but play WoW when I'm a little kid. Like I was just so addicted. And then I don't know. I would just play so much, and eventually it got to a point where they were really good. They were like all gladiators, and then I would play with them and be like, "Wow, they're so good." And it got to a point where I passed them up, and they were like, "What the? Like, what's going on? This is crazy." So it was awesome.
How old were you when you started to surpass them?
When I started to get better than them,
Yeah.
I think I was like 11 or 12. They were like, "What is wrong with this kid?" They used to call me Game Freak because I would play like wrestling games in Atari when I was a little kid. I would sit there with the huge TV. Back in the day, you had the giant, not the flat screen one, it's just like a giant TV sitting, and I would sit there and play games till like 5 in the morning. They used to call me Game Freak and mess with me and stuff. So
What do your uncles think of you playing now?
they think it's awesome. They definitely think it's incredible that I do what I do. And they honestly support me completely, which is, I mean, I really couldn't ask for anything
Mm,
else. So
nice. They don't play anymore.
no,
Nah.
not anymore.
It takes a lot of time. WoW takes a lot of time. There was like a whole era that just like people would flunk out of school, they'd get out of relationships, they just like because it was raid time or it was just WoW time. So
Mm.
yeah, WoW's good game.
Yeah,
Um,
plus they're old and have kids now. There's
yeah,
no way. There's
priorities.
no way. Yeah,
Sorry, I love you, honey, but I gotta raid with the guild. I'm sorry.
I don't know about that
So what
one.
is your origin story about the move and how the move came to be?
There's obviously another Cali thing. Pika nonstop, just like, yo, should I play this spec? And he just be like, yeah, I think that's the move. And we were just like, like, what does that mean? Like, we know what it meant, but he just said it so much. And then, I don't remember even who it was, but one of us just was, we were signing up for one of the tournaments, and we were like, what should we name the team? And we was like, the move. And then we go on Google, and then we find this loading truck full of like a bunch of items in the back, and we're like, wait, should that be our picture from the move? And we're like, no, it's fine. And then we we find some little kids drawing of a bus, just like a random bus with a little stick man waving, and then we're like, wait, let's get someone to put the move on it, make it look like a little kid wrote the move. So then we get one of our friends who has a designer friend to write the move, and the way he did it was he wrote the move with his left hand because he's right-handed, and that's why it looks like a little kid wrote the move, and then it just stuck. And hopefully that kid that drew the van doesn't come back to sue us, because that would be really unfortunate, because we stole his drawing. But yeah, that's what started the move basically.
That's pretty cool. You stole from a child. That's really great of a origin story.
Yeah, pretty much.
But how did you guys meet? So that's the story of the move, the brand and the name. But like, how did you guys come together as individuals?
Uh, I've been playing against Absers, WizK, Pika for years, and the very first team for a LAN event tournament I've ever been on, Pika was actually my teammate.
Hmm.
In 2014, our first LAN event, and we were, it gave us surprising, not really surprising, but we did really well playing a comp that wasn't necessarily the best. Um, but yeah, I was playing against all three of them for years. Like we competed against each other, and like they've been big names in the scene for as long as I can remember. And we actually all were not wanted on our teams one year. Because we all play one class. Pika plays Rogue, I play Hunter, Wiz played Shadow Priest, and then Carl played Shaman. And our classes weren't necessarily the best either at the time. So then we were just like, hey, do you want to make a team together? And it just happened, and we did really well, and no one expected it at all. So
So who was the drive? Like, was it kind of all of you who kind of decided that you wanted to come together, or was there like one or two people who were really pushing to get these specific people on the team?
well, I was texting Jason, and I was just like, "Hey, why don't we play with those two? They don't have a team." I think Wiz says still till this day that Carl tried to ditch him and play with someone else, but then Carl got replaced, and then Carl came crawling back or something. Wiz always says this, and I don't know who's like, and Carl denies it, so I don't know who's lying, who's telling the truth, but someone has to be lying. And yeah, so then that's pretty much it. No one really like wanted it more than the other person. It just kind of happened.
Cool. But then to kind of start, it sounded like that you and Jason were kind of working together, and you knew that you guys wanted to work together, and that you wanted then Wiz and Carl to join as well.
Yeah, because I was on a team, like I said, I was on a team with Pika before, and we both agree. I think the entire WoW community agrees that it wasn't. I mean, not to point fingers, it wasn't necessarily our fault that we didn't qualify for BlizzCon that year. There's a meme with the healer we played with named Burb. So like something you do at the very start of every game is put up a spell called Water Shield. You're supposed to do it. If you don't do it, you run out of mana in like the first minute of the game. And he just didn't hit the button at the very beginning of the game, and then we lost because he ran out of mana. And
Oh,
he actually, I feel bad because the community like memed him so hard that he quit. I'm pretty sure that's why he quit. Like he never came back to the game.
wow.
Yeah, and then I knew Pika was really good because in previous tournaments, like no matter who he was fighting, like he always like there was never a game where you watch him play and you think, wow, it's his fault they lost back then. So we just ended up playing together. That was that.
So when you guys like practice and work together, how do you do it? Do you kind of try out strategies, or you know, like, is there like an intention that you guys want to work on like per day, or is it just more of, you know, let's play together and just, I don't know, practice?
There are times where we just play just to build muscle memory on classes we don't really play. Because on classes you don't play, you have to learn two things. You have to learn, well, how to play the class, and then you also have to learn strategy, like what to do every game against like what comp you're fighting. So we get together to replay, and we'll change strats sometimes, but we're very open with each other when we play badly. So like, you know, a lot of teams have teammates that that'll instantly be like, this is a bad matchup, or you know, we shouldn't be playing this or whatever the second they lose. But my team instead, if we're playing like something we're not really used to playing, or even if we're playing like I'm on my hunter for example, if I play a game and I feel like I played badly, I will instantly say, play this again. It feels good. I messed this up. And my teammates are the same exact way, and I think that's why we do so well. Usually is because we're very open with when we play.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Shoot. Hit. Shoot. Shoot. What is this? Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
All right, we're just getting in it. You were explaining with the comps and the strats, and that basically, like, if something, if you don't quite do well with something, then you're like, can we run that again? And you guys will run it again.
Mm-hmm. Every single time.
Yeah.
The only time where that might not happen, Wiz sometimes gets really frustrated, and he might just instantly be like, you know, hop over, like, now, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like sometimes he'll like get overly stressed because he doesn't necessarily think we should lose to certain teams, no matter what we're playing. And then you know, I'll calm him down and be like, no, let's just try it again. It's not the biggest deal. Like, you know, I'll let him know, like, we didn't do this, and this right, and then we'll play it again and probably do better the next time. So
then, when it comes to comps and strats, who decides that, you know, you want to build out this comp or strat, like, or work on this, or is it a person, or is it kind of like everyone who kind of comes at it different ways?
It's collectively. It's usually like a team effort on what we should play, and then we'll each give our reasonings on why we should or shouldn't do it. Like, basically, if we agree or disagree, like the pros and cons. So, like, if I want to play a certain comp, they'll be like, no, I don't want to play this. And then I might have a rebuttal, or I might not, you know, necessarily disagree. I might agree with them. It just depends, because unless one person is, like, very firm about, like, playing a different comp or, like, playing a specific comp, then, like, we usually just work on it as a team. So, yeah.
So how much of it is, well, no, I guess, yeah, building different comp strats. Yeah, cool. So how would you describe your teammates individually?
Wiz is the grinder, so he's the one that puts in. He may not in the very beginning be insane at something, but he'll put in so many hours that it'll happen, you know. Carl is Carl, I won't even say it on right now. I'm not gonna do it to him. And then Jason is the polar opposite of Wiz, and everyone on the team knows it. He is naturally very talented at anything he plays. He starts off really strong, like really good at it, but does not put the time in at all, so he doesn't get better. But like in the very beginning, he's good at it, and he could be probably like one of the best at alts and playing alts, but he just doesn't put the time in. That's just all it is. So like, it's if he Wiz gets frustrated, very frustrated, because he knows that Jason's so naturally good at classes, but I mean, he doesn't put the time in, so it doesn't show.
So what's your favorite thing about Carl?
Come on, Mark. Yo, Mark. Mark, that ain't funny. My favorite thing about Carl?
Do we need to take 30 minutes?
No, it's funny, but like it's kind of harassment where he joins and he just like. I mean, we mess with him a lot, but when he messes with Wiz, it's actually like such good. It's so funny to just sit there and listen to him mess with Wiz. He even he like would do this thing and be like, "Hey Wiz, what if you were an alarm clock?" And then he would just sit there and be like, "Wiz, Wiz," and just be extremely annoying, like your little brother. You just want to just. Oh man, sometimes Carl takes it so far to the point where Wiz just freaks out at him and leaves the call. It's actually insane. But I mean, we love Carl. He's just Carl.
It's a family dynamic. It's like yeah, that's all I'll say. That's funny. So I was gonna ask Connor WizK about 3 things that we should know about you that we don't know. So I'll have to ask you. What are 3 things about you that we don't know that we should know?
I just started learning how to play the piano. I'm definitely an animal person, and I don't know. I don't know a third one. I feel like I'm pretty open with my stream for the most part, I would say. I don't really hold things back. Maybe sometimes I'm too open with certain things, but I mean, aside from like really personal stuff that I'd rather not say, I feel like I say a lot on stream. I don't know. Oh, I secretly actually kind of like Carl. Just like kinda, but like that's something I'm never gonna tell him. He's in his head. I hate him, so I mean, that's cool with me.
Sometimes we love to hate people. And last thought, how was LA? How was your trip with the media day and then going to Universal? In the midst of the coronavirus, and yeah, because pretty much the best thing you can do during the coronavirus is to go to Universal Studios and mingle with as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm. I was honestly one of the best trips I've taken in terms of not even just WoW, just in general, like getting to see my teammates who I consider pretty much like 3 of my best friends for sure. And hanging out with them. The pizza party was insane. And honestly, meeting everyone else. I mean, I heard Pika say this in his interview, but like I could be really shy too. Like when I got there, I wasn't really talking to anyone at first, and I got to meet over time. I was like, let me just open up a little bit. So I messaged Bronzy and Timmy from the Apex team to come, hang out with us in the hotel and have drinks. And we stayed up till like 5 in the morning hanging out. And then, well, not Bronzy because he's not 21. Not Timmy either. We had drinks. They didn't have drinks. And we were drinking and just hanging out while they were sitting there talking to us. And then we also went to go do karaoke with like all of the staff and stuff. And we hung out with Becca from, I believe, TFT and a bunch of other people too. It was awesome. And honestly, that was a really good experience for sure. It was amazing.
I think you guys kind of like kicked off the party because you had a clear objective, and that was to have amazing time. And you went hard and fast, and you guys, I think, achieved it in flying colors.
We tried to. It's kind of it's just all of our personalities, like how we are. We just want to have a good time and just not really think about any negatives or anything. So
cool. Well, those are all my questions. Do you have any topics that you wanted to cover that we didn't go over?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. All right. Well, Vince, thank you for making the time. And yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you for having me, Mark.
Have
a good day, man.
You too. All right. We stop streaming.